Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinx.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. How are you this morning?
Happy Boxing Day.
I mean, it could have been a happy Boxing Day if I didn't, see that story in Plateau State. Heartbreaking story. I mean, this morning I saw the videos. I don't know if you've seen the videos. Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning, Oji.
Yes. And, we saw babies on the floor with their mothers, on their mother's back, some on their father's hands.
Horrendous.
Their parents dead. All right. Well, let's begin what's trending by taking reactions to the tragic incident that occurred in Plateau State. It was Black Christmas for many, as no fewer than 100 persons were killed by terrorists in fresh attacks on several communities in Bokkos and Barkin local government areas of the state. The tragic incident unfolded on Saturday, extending into Christmas Eve. Casting a shadow over the festive season, the terrorists burnt down houses in no fewer than 20 different communities, sparing no one, including babies, as the casualty count continues to rise, with security forces, local vigilantes, and hunters recovering more bodies. The Plateau State Governor, Caleb Mutfwang, expressed dismay, describing the attack as unprovoked. He further appealed to those perpetrating the attacks to stop, as they have nothing to gain.
It is sad that within the last 2 days, we have lost innocent people as a result of incessant attacks in parts of Mangu and Bokkos, local government areas. As a matter of fact, my own intelligence is putting it at no less than 50 people. Let me say enough is enough. We cannot continue this senseless, stupid, unprovoked attacks. It is totally uncalled for and it is needless. I want to appeal to the conscience of the sponsors of these attacks that they do not stand to gain anything from this. But let me assure them that the spirits of the people of Plateau State will not be broken.
All right, the governor here, who you both spoke with earlier, has appealed to the conscience of those who are sponsoring the attacks. But Dr. Abati, I believe I heard you earlier say that this has been going on for years, since 2009. I was having a conversation this weekend with my colleagues, and, I talked about the fact that there is war in some parts of Nigeria. And I also raised the fact that there's been killings in Plateau State. We went back and forth to describe what war means. Let me just read it out. What war means: a state of armed conflict between different countries or different groups within a country, or different groups within a country. You use the term bandits, Dr. Abati. I want to use the term terrorists because this is what has been approved. These people are not bandits. They are terrorists. Let me take some tweets. This is from Pastor Okezie. When will there be lasting peace in Plateau State, Nigeria? Image 1. During President Olusegun Obasanjo's tenure, more than 200 innocent souls were massacred in a single night. Image 2. During late President Yar'Adua's tenure, more than 150 innocent souls were killed. Image 3. During President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's tenure, same senseless and barbaric killings in the same state. Image 4. Former President Muhammadu Buhari's tenure wasn't spared in the wanton and senseless massacre. It went further to write, Dear President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the recent wanton killing of innocent souls shouldn't be swept under the carpet like in other presidents' tenure. The Nigerian Army, DSS, police, Nigerian Air Force, your men should be up and doing to forestall a reoccurrence. This is from a concerned and patriotic Nigerian. Then let me take another tweet here. This person wrote, the federal government cannot help Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang must know this and learn from Kaduna and Katsina states. With an improved revenue, I see no reason why he hasn't employed and armed at least 5,000 civilian Joint Task Force officers to curb this genocide. Ayo, this is almost what I want to describe it as, genocide, because this was a well-coordinated attack, And they chose Christmas Day. What is Christmas? What does Christmas mean to you? They are sending a clear signal. This, for me, again, I will reiterate, there is war in Plateau State.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely, you've said it, Oji, in terms of it can be seen as a cleansing or a killing of a particular group of people, which would then make it genocide. When we had the governor speak earlier, I'd asked him a number of questions because this is not the first time, and I'm glad that Pastor Okeze detailed over the years.
Yes.
In an earlier interview, the governor had actually said that if there was political will, then the situation in Plateau State would be contained. He actually said a lack of political will to deal with insecurity in Plateau State is what has caused it to continue. How can a state be plagued for years, across over about 23 years, over the years, and we're saying that are we saying that Plateau State, it is impossible to bring peace to Plateau State? He also mentioned the fact that one of the reasons this has continued to thrive is that there are no arrests. So the perpetrators, we just condemn the killings, we release a presidential statement. However, in defense of President Tinubu, let me give him the benefit of the doubt, because he's just come into power. The others had spent 8 years in office and not been able to control the situation in Plateau State. He has said as part of his 8-point agenda that he was going to deal decisively with the issue of insecurity. Unfortunately, in Jigawa State, there were also issues beyond Plateau State. But Plateau State has been a hotbed of farmer-herder clashes, ethno-religious clashes. So there has to be a solution to this. Also, I cannot absolve the governor, even though I had said earlier on that, well, because security is the federal government's responsibility. However, when it comes to non-kinetic response, that's where the governor comes in. And then like the Pastor Okeze had mentioned, we can borrow from the likes of, not just, even in Benue State, where the governor sees that my people are dying, I have to take responsibility. I cannot just come and be offering condolences and commiserations as the first citizen of the state. So what am I doing to engage the citizens themselves? Because people in Plateau State must be tired of these killings. So I do believe that, as we mentioned, beyond the civilian joint task forces, engaging young people in Plateau State, engaging the community for intelligence in Plateau State, to be able to mitigate such attacks, it was huge. I mean, it took on more than one day, and it was targeted, like you mentioned.
Yes.
Really sad to all those who have been affected by this, and I pray that this will be the last of what we'll see in Plateau State.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well said, Ayo. I mean, Dr. Bati, you did ask, what were they doing? Over how many hours? 2 days this thing was going on and on. Houses were razed. It is impossible that these people I mean, what happened there? They dropped the ball here. They dropped the ball here. And if we're not screaming, Dr. Abati, nobody will. Yeah. This has to stop.
Well, the key point to be made is that, look, under our laws, the key responsibility of government is to ensure the security and the welfare of the people. Chapter 2, Section 14. Now, what the tweet from Pastor Okeze pointed out is simply that over the years, since even the return to democratic rule, the Nigerian state has continued to fail the Nigerian people. If you cannot secure them, either in the central part of Nigeria, either in Plateau State or in southern Kaduna, or in the southern part of the country, or in the northeastern corridor of the country, it means that the state is failing the people. And many people die in Nigeria for no reason at all.
None.
They go to bed at night, by morning, a whole family has been wiped out, a whole community has been wiped out. And you are right. For 2 days, over 20 communities, over 150 persons killed, where the governor put it at least over 100. He says they don't have the exact figures yet, but that they will try to collate the figures so that he can give President Tinubu later today a comprehensive report. Even if it is one person, one human life should not be wasted because of the ineffectuality of the state, because of the state failing to protect its own people. The governor, we put the question to him, that, okay, is this as a result of ethnicity or politics? He said, no, this is just a case of criminality. The logic of conflict, the logic of war, is that wherever it happens, whether it's in Nigeria or in Bethlehem or in Palestinian territory, it abbreviates human joy. It abbreviates human happiness. And there can be no explanation for it. And as the governor himself had pointed out, it's unjustified, it's brutal, it's barbaric.
Yes.
That people will just die and the state will be giving excuses. Now, how are you going to replace those lives lost? As one of your tweets said, when are we going to have peace? Not just in Plateau, but across Nigeria. This is the dilemma that we face.
Yes.
And one of the major priorities for the present administration and for governments, even at the subnational level, is to ensure that Nigerians live in peace. Non-Nigerians also living in our borders can feel secure.
Yes.
As I pointed out, this is a government that is looking for investment. If you are looking for investment and there are security challenges in your country and people can be killed anyhow, how are you going to attract that investment? Although there are some people who push the specious argument that even when there is danger in Nigeria, there is insecurity, that investors will come. Well, maybe the investors that come will be those portfolio fly-by-night investors. But if you are looking for real long-term investment, then of course you have to, first of all, fulfill the constitutional obligation of ensuring the security and welfare of the people. The governor of Plateau State has said they will adopt proactive measures, kinetic and non-kinetic. Now, these phrases are very easy to mouth. The impact, the meaning of it will be measured in terms of Nigerian people feeling safe in this territory called Nigeria.
Yes, I mean, the other day there was the army dropped a bomb in Kaduna State on civilians. I mean, well, in the meantime, the Chief of Army Staff, General Taoreed Lagbaja, celebrated Christmas with troops of Operation Hadarin Daji at the Army Barracks in Sokoto State. The general said the leadership of the Nigerian Army has designed many measures to encourage troops in the field as he saluted the gallantry, unwavering dedication, and sacrifice they make to ensure the peace and stability of the nation.
Seen in Sokoto and from the disposition of the troops, I'm more than confident that the troops will continue to perform at optimal level and even improve on their level of efficiency and deliverables to the state. So in a short while from now, I expect that Sokoto will be more stable, that people can go about their businesses without any let or hindrance, without any harassment from criminal elements or dissident groups. They continue to support the military, they continue to support the security agencies. If you see something, say something, because the troops cannot be everywhere. And so we need the people to provide information, to provide intelligence for the troops to act on. So let the people of Sokoto be forthcoming with information, with intelligence to these troops, and they be rest assured that the troops will act on whatever information.
So the Chief of Army Staff there celebrating the troops. The troops deserve to be celebrated because as civilians are dying in this war, our troops are also dying. In another development, the Islamic movement in Nigeria, popularly known as Shiites, joined Christians at a Christmas service at St. Joseph Catholic Church, Zaria, in Kaduna State on Monday. The Islamic group described it as a move to strengthen religious harmony and unity between religious groups. The leader of the Shiite group, Professor Isa Hassan Garu, said the group acknowledged Christmas as a day for festivities, friendliness, and unity, adding that joining Christians faithful as they mark Christmas was meant to renew hope for unity among Muslims, Christians, and other religions. Congratulations to this group. I mean, they have been apparently visiting, churches during Christmas. They've been doing this for a while, but this is what we need to see. Yes. The other day we talked about the Kaduna State governor.
So he's led by example.
Visiting, and attending the Christmas carol. It's nice to see that type of interaction. And these are little solutions that can really help dissolve this type of war. These people, these groups coming together, to join hands. And also, I believe the Kaduna State governor had empowered about 7,000 vigilantes. If you recall, that other Twitter user said the Plateau State governor should also do that, because these are the people that know, they have the intelligence, they know what's going on. These vigilante groups can also help. Well, all right, we'll take another story. The immediate past Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, has reacted to media reports linking her to an alleged money laundering case involving a contractor, James Okwete. Over the weekend, reports indicating that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission uncovered 37 billion naira that was allegedly laundered in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. According to the reports, the EFCC investigation revealed that the money was transferred from the federal government's coffers and sent to 38 different bank accounts domiciled in 5 legacy commercial banks belonging to or connected with contractor James Okwete. 53 companies were also allegedly traced to Okwete, some of which were used to lift federal government contracts amounting to 27 billion naira. Well, in a statement on X, Umar Farouk denied doing any business with Okwete. Let's take a tweet. Well, the minister wrote, "There have been a number of reports linking me to a purported investigation by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission into the activities of one James Okwete, someone completely unknown to me. James Okwete neither worked for nor represented me in any way whatsoever. The linkages and associations to my person are spurious. While I resist the urge to engage in any media trial whatsoever, I have, however, contacted my legal team to explore possible options to seek redress on the malicious attack on my person. I remain proud to have served my country as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria with every sense of responsibility and will defend my action, stewardship, and programs during my tenure whenever I am called upon to do so." Well, the minister here has clarified that allegation that was circulating on social media. We are yet to hear from the EFCC on that investigation, but you did see that story, Dr. Abati, and she's talking about being proud of what she did during her ministry.
The jury is out. After all, many of the programs under our watch were heavily criticized, whether it was a school feeding program or conditional cash transfer, with which they did under the social investment program. But the position I take in this matter is that, look, nobody is above investigation.
Absolutely.
Anybody can be investigated. But the media should refrain from what is called media trial. In Nigeria, all you need to malign anybody, to impugn on anybody's integrity, to damage anybody's reputation, is to say, oh, EFCC is investigating the person. Or, oh, somebody said they saw the person with the neighbor's goods. Or, he or she was playing with the neighbor's chicken at Christmas. Now, we should refrain from media trial. People are innocent until proven guilty. And in a particular case, yes, it's entirely within our rights to come forward and try to protect our reputation. But at the same time, the security agencies of investigating, they can also do their job while respecting the rights of persons that may have been identified. As to whether she or other people served Nigeria well, no, that's a matter of public opinion.
Absolutely.
And public assessment. What impact was she able to make? Many of these ministers under President Buhari, they just sleepwalked for 8 years through the place. And that's why we are hoping that with President Tinubu, who has now taken over, we will not have people, sleepwalking, engaging in the kind of somnambulism that we witnessed for 8 years under President Buhari. Now, the other stories you brought, well, I hope nobody is trying to connect the fact that General Lagbaja was in Sokoto pepper souping and jollophing with the troops, because while he was in Sokoto, Air Marshal Abubakar was also in Borno, pepper souping and jollophing with the troops, with Governor Zulum in attendance, celebrating Christmas. Well, I mean, this kind of occasion, the generals, the senior people in the military going to the front lines to meet with the troops, it's good for regimentation, it's good for bonding, it's good for morale.
Yes.
And, the people who defend the territorial integrity of Nigeria, they are also entitled to Christmas. So let nobody say, oh, it's because they were having Christmas party. That was why, terrorists, as you call them, or bandits, or criminals,
terrorists,
as they all are, were having a field day in those 3 local governments of Plateau State. But the primary responsibility, we keep saying, of securing Nigeria, of ensuring security, protection of lives and property, is that of the police. The military are just called in, in any extreme situations when the police are unable to do it. So the thing to do is to strengthen the Nigerian police so that the police can deliver on its constitutional mandate and also its functions as spelled out in the Police Act. So these are the issues here. You had a third subject. What is that?
You lumped 3. It was the
shites. Okay, yes. The big deal here is about religious tolerance.
Yes.
Mutual understanding. And there's a body called NIREC, which is the interreligious, body to promote religious understanding, mutual cooperation. And so it's good to see that on Christmas Day, the Islamic movement of Nigeria going to church.
Yes.
And incidentally, they were well received by the Catholic priests, St. Joseph's Church they went to. So we need that kind of mutual understanding, tolerance, because that is what will promote peace. Unfortunately, the Islamic movement of Nigeria has been heavily, badly treated by certain elements within the Nigerian state, considering the travails of Zaki, the leader of that movement. And again, all of this is as a result of differences among the sects within the Islamic religion itself. But that's a different subject entirely. The thing to stress is the need for, religious harmony, religious tolerance, whatever may be the faith.
Absolutely. Well, shall we take our final story, Ayo? Okay. This is in Kogi State, the spirit of giving, right? The governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello, over the weekend presented 40 SUVs and Hilux vans to lawmakers and judges at a ceremony in Lokoja, the state's capital. The governor also presented 25 ambulances to all local government areas of the state and some tertiary institutions, as well as firefighting vans to the state's fire service. Well, during the ceremony, the governor thanked his party members for their support and assured the people of Kogi State that his administration will continue to offer the necessary intervention that would improve the well-being of the people.
We are sponsored by a political party, the All Progressives Congress. And even those political parties that did not, opposition party even work for APC, not so. For the wonderful job you guys have done. And it is because party sponsored us and we are here. So we are going to hand over to the party and the speaker so that they will appropriately give it to the deserving assembly member. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
The governor that keeps giving, but Ayo, he came under fire on social media because people are asking.
Just 30 seconds
quickly.
on this,
yes.
And that is the fact that I do think, and that when it comes to giving of gifts, especially to judges and lawmakers,
yes,
the executive should actually desist from doing this, because we've seen how that has played out in the past. Look at the River State situation, for instance. Judges in the instance should also reject gifts. There are certain gifts that should be rejected because sometimes it compromises certain things.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well said, Ayo. Well, Dr. Abati, I'd like to thank you both. I hope you guys go home in good spirits after this show and hope that the federal government will do their part, will continue to do their part. I'd like to thank you both. A great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.